Alcohol is poison. Alcohol is poison. That's pretty good.
Don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
To Non-Drinking Buddies. I'm Rebekka Johnson.
And I'm Ann Gregory.
And this is the show where we talk to teetotaling guests about how they find the fun in a booze-free life.
And today's guest is super fun. Jackie Johnson.
She's a podcast host. She has a podcast, Natch. Beaut. She's a comedian.
Yeah, she has a one-woman show right now that sells out all the time.
How to get a second husband. Yeah, which, we're going to put on our to-do lists.
No, we're not.
Just kidding.
Come on. But we are going to put on our to-do list talking to her because she's been sober for almost 10 years.
Yes, and she has the willpower of a damn priest. You'll get that joke in a minute.
Let's talk to Jackie Johnson. We are here with Jackie Johnson.
Hi.
Don't worry,
We
you'll
just
have
get
a proper
started.
intro.
Wow.
We will have a proper intro before.
Okay.
They will hear it. You won't.
Okay.
We don't want to list all your accolades because you're going to get a big head. And
Yeah, we want to keep you low
Yeah.
to start our podcast.
Yeah.
I'm fine with staying low today. You know what they say? Get low, get low,
Get
get
low,
low,
get
get
low.
low.
Yeah.
To the window, to the wall.
Till the sweat drops down my
Balls. That song was the big song in college, like my first semester of college, and all of us like drunk sorority girls were like, "Sweat dripped down my balls."
You're like,
it was a moment.
I didn't love myself.
Yeah. It was a moment.
Where did you go to college? Texas?
University of Texas.
Oh, Austin. Hey.
Hook 'em horns, baby. Hook 'em horns, baby.
My niece is there right now.
How lovely. I would love to chat with her about what's happening there.
Okay.
I wonder what's going on.
Maya, give Jackie a call.
Please, I want to know about the dorms. I want to know about the food.
She's going to be an RA next year.
I want to know. You got to text her for me. I need to know the dorm.
I will.
What if it's the same room I was in?
Oh, that would be. Can I ask you? So I have no idea if Texas is the same as some of these other places where in southern schools where they like decorate their dorm room like crazy and get matching stuff, and then was it like that?
No.
Okay.
No, I've seen those videos.
Yeah, and I'm like, is
we
that
didn't
what
have
it's like?
Amazon. No, we didn't have Amazon.
Oh, right.
I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. I had my coupon. The whole back to school
20%
stuff.
off, baby.
Yeah. I just got I picked a bedspread and posters, and that was it. I wish they have neon matching signs. And
seems very expensive.
Yeah.
Well, also UT, you're a nerd if you go to you're smart if you go to UT.
Oh, okay.
You are.
I got in on a technicality, but I did. Yeah.
What was it?
Well, back in my day, I don't know if this is still the case, but maybe our friend here can tell us, your producer, if you're in the top 10% of your graduating class, you get into any public school automatically. Okay. And obviously UT is a public Texas school, even though it is a very difficult school to get into. Yeah. But I went to a very dumb high school. So I was in the top 10% and I automatically got into UT. And then I got there and got my ass kicked. It was very hard. The first class, there were 700 kids in the class. And they go, raise your hand if you were valedictorian. Every hand went up except for me and a couple of kids.
No way everyone was a valedictorian.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
There's a lot of schools in Texas.
I know,
and the woman was like, well, half of you will flunk out. And I was just like,
wow.
Cool, man.
What a great way to start.
You didn't flunk out, though?
No, but I almost did. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I had a 2.0 my first semester.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was rough. That was a big adjustment.
Yeah. I went to a smart kids school, too, and everyone was smarter than me, and I realized it real fast.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah. I went to Montclair State for acting. Here's the funny thing. I took AP Calculus. I went to an honors high school, and so we took all sorts of honors shit. And I took AP Calculus, got a decent grade on the AP test, got to Montclair, and found out because I was an acting major, I didn't even need to take math.
Oh, wow.
So I did AP Calculus for no reason.
I should have gone to your school.
Except for TI-82, baby, that freaking
I love it.
baby.
I saw a TikTok recently. Those are still $50.
Really?
Why has the price not gone down? Who needs a calculator anymore?
I know. Well, you need
for
the cosines and
they need them because you can't program stuff onto them, and people need them still for tests and stuff.
Okay.
Listen, the nerd knows.
Okay.
The true
You're
nerd.
saying I went to a nerd school over here. Okay, calculator girl.
Honestly, you're cool though. So you're cool, and I've known you for a long ass time.
Yeah.
But we've never we did shows together. like musical theater. Again, real cool.
Didn't you play Kirsten Cavallari in my OC musical?
That's a real reach, because if you've seen me and you've seen her, a real reach. But
come on. No, you killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. But we did a lot of shows together, and I always really liked you, but I don't think we've ever like talked like one-on-one.
We probably have, but not in like long stretches.
Yeah.
Jackie has a timer, and whenever you talk to her, when the buzzer goes off, she
bye.
Bye-bye. Gotta do stuff.
Time is money, sweetie. Yeah.
So I didn't even know that you didn't drink.
Yeah. Well, I don't really talk about it.
Okay, you're talking about it in front of
coming out now,
people
baby.
That's why I said I'd love to come on, because every podcast I go on, people ask me about skincare, makeup. I'm like,
shit. Don't ask her. We were going to ask you, but we're not going to do that.
No,
pages.
That's why I thought it was so fun. I said, well, this is something that's really, honestly, a big part of my life that I don't really talk about much.
Okay.
And so that's why I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
So talk to us. How long ago did you quit drinking?
Yeah.
And how long?
So I officially am not in any program. I didn't have a problem. I didn't hit a rock bottom. So
You had a soft bottom. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
No, not you. You've got a very hard.
It's
hard ass.
okay. Yeah.
Buns of steel.
Firm to mid-firm, I'd say. This all started from my pursuit of wellness.
Okay.
And I mean, listen, I grew up with people drinking a lot around me my whole life, and it didn't serve me.
Okay.
And I went to college, to the window to the wall, moved out to LA, partied, and then in 2010 I went vegan.
Okay.
And then I just, from there, said, okay, if this is true, what else is true? How else can I kind of clean up my act? How else can I? And in 2013, I went what I would called at the time super sober.
Okay.
So I
that mean?
went off of hormonal birth control.
Okay.
I was on, I don't want to say the name of it, but it's like a little round object that you inside.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get sued. I don't know. But I was reading all these reports of like, blood clots, all this stuff.
The ring, right?
Yeah, but listen, I don't want to tell anybody to go off hormonal birth control. It's a very important, wonderful thing.
Yes.
But I decided, okay, I'm going to go off birth control.
But it wasn't good for your body.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what life was like on the other side.
As in, just like chemical free in a
Yes,
sense.
exactly, like a hormonal chain, kind of a cleanse. But the real issue was coffee. I was drinking Trenta iced coffees every day, which is like the giant Starbucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a dog walker at the time. I was walking dogs and I was driving and my hands were
Shaking.
going like this. And I was just like, but it was that thing. Coffee is such an addictive drug that is so normalized.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still completely addicted. Just
Me too.
FYI.
And so it was bad. And I just said, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm not a big fan of like how I act when I drink. I'm not a big fan of it at all, the health benefit. So I said, I'm going to go off alcohol, weed, which again was a big crutch at the time, I would say. Birth control, coffee, all of it, dead. I just
At the same
stopped.
time?
Yeah, I just said
What?
super sober summer 2013.
Did you get headaches? What was
Oh my
your
God,
body's
for
reaction?
months.
Okay,
Wow.
Months. The coffee headaches were so bad.
And you were like substance free. You wouldn't take Tylenol if you had
I think
headache?
I would, but
Okay,
I've
got it.
always been one of those I'll suffer through it kind of
Oh,
people.
not me.
Yeah.
Baby, I will take the drug.
Yeah.
Anne has a Ziploc of pain pills. Not,
Yeah.
addictive
Not
ones.
Good to know if I need something,
Yeah,
who to call.
I got like Advil or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to
hardcore.
try to have an unmedicated birth, and then when I hit labor I go, epidural now,
Yeah.
now.
You're like, oh, this is a pain I haven't
yeah, I
experienced.
said, no, thanks.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
And when that thing hit, that was the best moment of my
wasn't
life.
that great?
I go, why doesn't everyone do this?
I know.
When I have suffered through it for a little while, and what I remember was the craziest moment, because I always talk about how I got blackout drunk. The funny thing is in birth, I got blackout birthed.
Yeah.
Oh, the pain made you-
pain,
Oh, yeah.
that happens.
2 hours went by.
Yeah, your body said,
And I had
"You're
no
out."
memory. I have no memory
Wow.
except every once in a while saying I fuck a duck.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying when I was having contractions.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I kept saying like, I feel like I have to poop, like 1,000 poops.
That means
And-
the baby's coming, right?
Right, but it was actually it was
Yeah.
just like he was
just-
in the wrong spot.
You're just
Yeah.
pooping yourself.
I was just
You're
pooping.
just shitting,
but
yeah.
I was before the pain pills or before the epidural. I was like, in so much pain. Literally 2 hours went by because they turned it all off because his heart rate went down. And when I came sort of to, I had no idea that it had been
2
so
hours
long.
had gone by. Oh my God.
Yeah, and then that's when basically they like turned down the Pitocin. I was like, oh, I can't go through this again.
Oh, did you get induced?
I was induced, but with no pain medication.
Oh my God, you can't do that.
They did that.
You can't do that.
23 hours. 23 hours.
Pitocin makes your contractions 100 times worse.
Yes. I was on that for 23 hours. Finally, they had to do a C-section, blah, 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 after 40 hours.
But once I got the epidural, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So that's the one. So yeah, we don't drink. If I ever had a baby again, which I most likely won't, I think the factory is broken, I would definitely get that epidural as soon as I could.
I'm going to preemptively sign up for one.
Yeah,
like just
I'll take one now.
Put me on one like a week before I'm due and just let it ride.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works, but sure.
I'm going to call.
Do
I'm going to
it.
make a call.
Yeah. Call Cedars right now.
Yeah. Anyway, though, okay, so I actually thought of you when I was thinking about this story earlier. So that summer, I booked a small role in Inherent Vice, which is Paul Thomas Anderson's movie.
A name drop.
And because of that movie, I bought a Prius. And I remembered you because of your Frosted Mini Wheat commercial. You bought a Frosted Mini Wheat Prius. Do you remember? And booked a Frosted Mini Wheat commercial.
I got it now I put that like decal on it. No, I don't actually have the Frosted Mini Wheat
No, but
decal.
there's this it's literally an iconic commercial, and you're a barista,
It bought my house.
and the Frosted Mini Wheat is talking to you behind the counter, and they bought it they like renewed it, and because of the time that had passed, you got like a bigger check or whatever. And I remember we were chatting, and because I love that commercial, and you were like, yeah, it was so lucrative, because I was asking you weren't being tacky. I was like, and you were like, I bought my car with it. So
I'd be like, look at my Prius.
Yeah.
What a flex.
Pull up.
What a dumb flex.
You know how many miles I could drive without hitting the gas station?
Hey, Priuses are very nice.
I have a Prius too.
Yeah. So anyway, I did Inherent Vice. It was a very small role, but they just let the clock roll. They never fed us. So meal penalty. We're getting into the industry talk now. But anyway.
You got a freaking car from that shit?
I got in the transpo van that night, and the guy goes, oh my God, our checks. And I was like, I'm starving. He goes, it'll be worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
And I bought a used, sensible Prius with my money.
Oh, mine was used too.
And I remember, I was like, oh, Anne bought her Frosted Mini Wheat Prius. Now I have my, Paul Thomas Anderson Prius. And
you never know when you're going to inspire someone with a really dumb
I'm not
story.
kidding. I've always thought about that.
Oh, that's so
Oh my goodness. Okay, great.
So I had my Prius, and I remember and you know what? Maybe this sparked this. I don't remember, but I was at someone's house, a comedian we all know. We were all partying. I got tipsy, and I drove my Prius home.
Yeah. Got it. Your Paul Thomas Anderson Prius.
And I remember thinking, that is... I have such trauma from that happening to me as a kid. And I was just like, I can't believe I did that. I'm so lucky I got home. I will never do that again.
That's good.
And that was when I was like, I guess this is my soft bottom, but it wasn't. It was just a stupid thing. It was like my new car, and I was like, I don't want to leave it somewhere overnight. I'll drive it, which is, again, the dumbest thing.
But you know what?
Your brain is dumb when you're drunk.
Exactly.
And the reason why it's not, it could be a hard bottom.
Yeah.
If you got in an accident.
Right, which I very easily could
or
have,
pulled over. And that's the thing, I think those moments that when you can catch yourself before that happens, it's like the fact that it scared you enough to say, I'm not going to do that again, rather than, I got away with it this time. I had a friend who was a comedian who, before he quit drinking, he gave me the statistics of how many cars are on the road and your chances of getting pulled over are so slim that he's like, I just drink and drive all the time. I remember him saying it at the time, and then...
Dude, he's using, how I can fly without barfing. I use statistics, to fly without, I'm so scared of flying.
But it doesn't matter when you drink and drive, you can cause an accident, which you will get pulled over for.
But obviously that's when you have an alcohol problem.
But
I can't believe he's using the statistic to justify. That's crazy.
Exactly. And he did it to sort of convince us that it was fine.
No, man.
And obviously it didn't work. But at the same time, it's like, you do make these judgment calls.
Choices, and
but you're inebriated.
I got home, and then as I was getting out, I said, okay, that is the last time that will ever happen.
Good.
And it was the last time that ever happened. Since that night in 2013, I have been intoxicated twice, and they were both for drunk history. So,
oh my God. Did you get so sick?
Oh
then?
yeah. So cut to that summer. Since then, I have had a sip of champagne at a wedding, every once in a while, a cocktail here and there. And then when I got pregnant, I said, oh, finally I don't have to feel pressured to drink. Like everybody, when you go out, they're like, come on, just have one. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So then I was like, this is great. And then I was breastfeeding. So I was like, this is great. Even though technically you can drink and breastfeed, you can drink and be pregnant.
There's books that'll tell you can drink whenever.
But to me, exactly.
Whatever. Yeah.
But to me, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. And then I stopped breastfeeding, and then I said, I'm not going to drink. And I haven't had one drop, and it's so lovely. I've just kept it going.
Okay, and I would talk about how good your skin looks, but I don't want to talk about skincare because we agreed we were not going to talk about skincare.
No, we can talk about skincare, but I haven't been a drinker for years and years now.
Okay.
That's great.
Except for drunk history where they make you drink.
So I've always wanted to go on drunk history.
Yeah.
And I didn't go on it for many years.
Yeah.
I was offered it, and I downplayed how much, how I don't really drink.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh yeah, cool.
That would be hard if they asked me to be on that. That would be really hard to say no.
Because you want to work.
I would want to be on it.
Yeah.
But I would have to say no. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did it.
Wow.
It only took 2 drinks.
Yeah.
And they have, for those who don't know, peel the curtain back, it's a very professional environment. You have to go get a physical beforehand.
Okay.
You get blood work done. Afterwards, there's a nurse there. They'll do an IV bag if you want. They make you take charcoal pills. They drive you to and from.
Wow.
They monitor you. I blew a, 0.84.
Wow.
No, that's way too high.
Okay.
0.14 maybe. 0.08 is legally intoxicated, right?
Yeah.
I have it somewhere written down.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
Did you get a vitamin B infusion?
Oh yeah,
afterwards?
they do. They do all that stuff.
Wow.
The first time wasn't bad. The second time was bad. I was sick.
Wow.
And that one never even aired because the show got canceled and they shelved it all.
I got drunk
for no reason.
Damn.
It was rough.
Yeah, that is rough.
It was rough. But
that's got to be interesting after being so kind to your body for so long and then being so not kind.
It was rough.
To a crazy degree.
It was really stupid and rough.
The kid thing, go smoke a whole pack.
Yeah.
You're a kid, that's kind of what you're doing to your body.
Even in 2019, I got a divorce and I started dating again after 8 years off the market. And I said, okay, I don't want to be like the sober girl. I'm going to keep my options open. So I did have a couple cocktails. And I remember I was on a date with my now husband. And I was like, I drank 1 vodka grapefruit and I went in the bathroom and threw up for 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
Because guess what?
Your body cannot
Alcohol is poison. It's straight up poison.
We used to be in musicals together.
Yeah.
That's why that was flawless harmony.
It was gorgeous.
So good.
Yeah,
it's funny because I also did musical comedy, but I was like, I can't get the 3-part harmony. I'm gonna do it wrong, so I didn't join in.
No.
Can we do it one more time?
I was joking.
Okay.
That was not harmony.
Okay, but let's do harmony for real. Let's do harmony for real.
I'm really bad at finding harmony, so y'all are gonna have to find it.
You're gonna start.
Alcohol is poison. Alcohol is poison. That's pretty good.
Don't quit your day job.
Yeah, that wasn't
awful.
bad. That could be y'all's new theme song.
Oh my God, alcohol is poison.
We don't preach here at Non-Drinking Buddies.
I know. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I don't preach either, but it truly is. And I don't put things in my body that my body doesn't like.
Wow. Are you still off caffeine?
I drink matcha green tea. That's it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I haven't had coffee since, and that's rough because coffee's so great.
Especially when you have a new baby, which obviously you have a young child.
Toddler.
Yeah.
That's the hardest. I feel like the lack of sleep and then having, obviously when you're breastfeeding though, and after pregnancy, it's like you already kind of have to kick so many things when you're pregnant. So
if I have a sip of coffee, I get a horrific headache.
Wow. So your body really is connected to these.
Recalibrated.
Yes, for better or for worse, for sure.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Because they say, especially as we get older and I'm going through perimenopause, that's one of the reasons, alcohol I could not drink without getting a migraine.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's your body literally saying, please stop, please.
Yeah. But they say at this age, too, that caffeine, we both crave it, and it also, affects our hormones in negative ways. That's the next thing I need to do. I'm just not there yet.
You got to switch to matcha.
Okay.
I am a matcha queen. Matcha is a completely different thing. It gives you a sustained energy as opposed to a spike in your cortisol like coffee. Like, I could send you 100 charts. It's so great.
Okay, I want 100 charts.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I will
email
you don't have to
them.
actually send
I've
100.
sent them to people.
No, I love
I've got my
that.
husband on matcha now. He was like a major coffee guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got him on the matcha. It's annoying.
Do you do like a matcha latte?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. I think it was interesting. I was talking to a friend who does not drink coffee at all. And she was like, it's so weird how it's so normalized that people, if you're like hanging out with them and if they need a coffee, it's like all they can do is think about it.
Yes.
All they could do is think, where am I going to get my coffee? And in my mind, I was like, that's how I feel about alcohol.
Yeah.
And, but also how I feel about coffee. Like,
Yeah.
I also am like that about coffee. But being only alcohol free for a year, I'm like giving myself grace with all the other things that I want to change.
And that's the other thing. If you start going down the deep dive, I follow all these people on the internet, and this woman just put up a video that's like, your microwave is causing whatever in your brain. And I'm like, okay, no, I can't do this.
Well, there's just like also...
Give me something here.
Listen, when there's probably truth to all of that, but also we live in a modern timeline where there are like toxins and poisons around us everywhere.
Yeah.
So you got to choose what you're going to care about. And you could be scared about leaving your house.
Yeah.
You know, like you could be like, no offense, do you ever watch The Real Housewives?
I've never watched 1 minute of it.
Oh, good, great. Okay. Well, then this is just for me. There's
I watch it sometimes.
Laughing. There's this one OC housewife who is like crazy about every single poison, and it can drive you nuts. And then she's a little nuts.
I remember we were at this audition one time a few years ago, and it was like for some kind of sketch thing, and we had
Did I drop how I had a Prius at this thing too?
No, we parked next to each other. You pulled up.
And I was like, look at my fucking broken mini-wheat Prius.
She pulled up silently because those cars don't make a noise.
Exactly. I didn't hear it all. No, it was something, and we were practicing for each other in the waiting room.
Okay.
And you were doing all these housewife characters, and I was like, I've never seen it. And you're like, okay, well, this probably won't be funny at all, but I'm still going to do it.
That's Anne's classic.
Yeah, Anne's classic. Like, let me shit on myself. Let's go.
No, I'm sure they were great. I don't.
Well, I didn't book it, so.
I didn't either.
Okay, fuck them.
I did.
Oh, wow.
I haven't booked a commercial
Glow?
since I've been out here, pretty much.
It's called Glow.
It was called Glow.
It's called Glow on Netflix.
I don't know why they wanted me to do characters for Glow. Okay.
We said
did.
wrestling characters, not
not
Real Housewives. Okay, well.
So, Jackie, how do you feel in terms of once you finally quit? Do you feel like there was any change in your socializing, or because you already had such a drastic change when you had a baby that was in COVID?
Well, back in 2013, it was shocking to be the sober person at a comedy party.
Yeah. There's a lot of booze in comedy.
If you went to we know the theater, the theater we all met at's comedy, like New Year's party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And New Year's is
and
rookie night.
There were like comedians fucking in back rooms.
In
and stuff
urinals.
Like,
and like,
and you're like, oh, nobody wants comedians to be fucking in urinals.
No,
Come on.
it was vile.
It was nasty.
And I remember we were walking out of the party. I'll tell y'all who after. This person who's a delightful person was hammered and almost got smashed by a car right in front of me. I mean, he was could barely walk, and then he just walks into the street, and there's a car. And his girlfriend grabs his arm, and he's just oblivious that he almost got murdered.
Oh my God.
And then he's laughing, and everybody's like, man, you're such a goof. And I'm sitting here sober as a damn priest.
I think priests drink a lot. I like that phrase, though. Sober as a priest.
What's the word?
Sober as a damn priest.
So that's such a Texas thing.
Sober as a damn priest. I'm not hitting that community wine tonight.
She needs to be on Young Sheldon. Whoever cast that.
Please call me Young Sheldon. I want those residuals. That shit's on all the time.
Oh my God, you're gonna upgrade to the Young Sheldon Tesla.
Oh baby. Yes, syndication. No, but I watched this person almost get murdered, not even care, and everyone thought it was funny. And I'm sitting here sober as a damn priest going, I'm sorry, but that's not funny. That's not funny. This is not funny.
Yeah.
I can't believe you still went to the New Year's party.
But I've had sober New Year's for a decade now.
Right.
Yeah.
I have sober everything now. I'm so used to it, and it's fine now. I prefer it. I prefer it. I'm funnier sober. I'm a better person sober. I'm more empathetic sober. I have more fun sober. I have more energy sober. Like all of it. I would I never want to have any of it again. Like,
that's so inspiring. And also just for people listening though, Jackie is one of the most outgoing people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, I would have never known she didn't drink. Like, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, just
you know what's so
hilarious,
funny?
personable
When I
human.
started dating my now second husband, Ben, he was like, I thought you were like a party girl. That's what everyone always says
well,
to me.
because you're so
Right. And I'm
affable
like, no.
and comfortable in social situations,
Yeah.
which so many of us drink to be
Yes.
comfortable.
Yes.
And you're already such a personality.
Well, it's comedians are awkward.
You're a
Yes.
sweat
Yeah.
drops down these balls buster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm on that stage shouting out inappropriate lyrics, dancing, and there's no alcohol involved.
It's great.
Do you think that you were more self-conscious with booze, or you like less when you were drinking?
Yeah.
Was it to get the party started? Did you feel peer pressure?
I think it was experimentation.
Okay.
And self-medicating, you know? Just really, before you do the work, like we were all saying, it's a self-soothing thing, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I got to pump myself up.
Yeah.
Or, you know, my boyfriend in college or whatever being like, well, I'll show him. I'm going to show this party and be the fucking coolest sweat drop down my balls girl, you know? And it's like, no, really now I've found the self-confidence without that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not trying to go into the party now and be the drunk as the damn skunk.
No.
And so other than
Drunk as the
naturally
damn
skunk and sober as a damn priest.
There is a phrase. What is it?
I think
Judge! Sober
as a
as a judge! That's it!
Sober as a damn judge.
Sober as a damn priest!
meanwhile, you know they're drinking that wine.
Oh, they're drinking that communion
doing
wine.
all that stuff.
They gotta pass the
yeah.
time somehow.
Judges also drink.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They got that flask.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back there.
They're fucking
Bum,
drunk,
bum.
those judges.
Yeah.
Okay, so for people who are not born Jackie Johnson, this ball busting lady, what are some? You said you did this work.
Yeah.
Like, what is this work that got to more confidence?
I think therapy, but really becoming really good at something is esteem building. And that's why I think if you're out there and you're just like, what do I do? What's something that you've always wanted to do? You want to paint? You want to do pottery? You want to dance? Do you want to...
I like how you pointed to me.
on, Ann, I know it's your dream.
Wait, Jackie, can I ask you? Do you think I can join one of those college dance teams? They just had the finals recently. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to college and be a college dance team.
You joke, but LA City College has a book. I just got mine in the mail today. All of their classes for the spring. I did the beginning to drums class, intro to drums. It was
amazing.
So fun. I learned.
Awesome.
I can drum.
Nice.
Go to my Instagram. And I met all these people. It was so fun.
That's cool.
And then I did intro to sushi making. They have, y'all could probably teach them. They have comedy ones. I kind of want to take one just to see.
To see who's teaching it. And
go in there and be like the funny one in the class.
Are you guys?
So being good at something.
I just think
that gives you genuine self-esteem
and joy, and just and maybe that'll give you something else to occupy your time as well. I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because we spoke to another guest who was talking about like just go out and do stuff. Like he went to museums and read books when he quit drinking.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes about how like life passes us by, and there's times where we're like just waiting for that next thing, especially being an artist. You're like, please God, can I get that job?
Or an actor waiting for that fucking call.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or when our kids are difficult and we're like, oh, if they were just once they get through this phase, and there's an element of like, I think I used to drink to make that time pass faster.
Yeah.
And now the time is there, and it's like, not that I always use it wisely. Like I definitely go on TikTok, and in hours.
My phone is a self-soothing.
Yeah.
thing
Oh,
now.
that is my addiction.
Yeah.
That I'm
Mommy
still working
needs
on.
her nipples.
Yeah.
I
need my
going back to
feed.
the dork,
Mommy.
and I've said this before. I'm on Reddit like a fucking creep.
Oh, I'm terrified.
I'm a lurky Reddit bitch.
Yeah. And we all have a hobby. This one I'm talking about. We all
I've
have
never
a hobby.
commented once.
Really?
I just lurk.
You're a lurky Lou.
Yeah.
You lurk like a jerk.
What are some of the boards you like?
Oh God, stop drinking. I like that
Okay,
one.
that's
I like that
nice.
one. But I also
I love unsolicited medical advice.
Oh, I love that kind of stuff.
Is this a boil? And someone's nasty photo.
Oh God. God.
All these like armchair doctors are like,
Oh,
Yes.
that looks infected.
I like some true crime ones. The Lisk killer one. They finally found the Lisk killer, Long Island serial killer. I told you because I thought you were from Long Island. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm from Staten Island, and
Yeah.
we've known each other. And I'm like, oh fuck.
That's like me thinking you're from North Dakota. Not
Yeah.
true at all. Long Island and Staten Island are
from
very close.
Milwaukee.
Check that out.
Check that out.
I like
Yeah.
Am I the Asshole?
Oh, am I
nice.
the asshole?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I love that one.
They're so unhinged.
I also love this is so bad. I love The Other Woman.
What's
They're
that?
so sad.
Oh, no.
And it's just women who are just and I just love it for the
is
character.
it the other woman?
Yeah.
Are the people writing?
they're the people
They're
who
like,
are
he
in-
says he's gonna leave her.
And-
He
and-
is, right?
and I don't know why I like to read. I feel such empathy for these people, but as like a writer, I'm just very interested in the interior lives
Yeah.
of these people. And they're very smart women, but they're doing bad choices. I'll
It's
lurk
also
on that.
probably a place that they can just be honest.
Honest,
But
and
that's so
Yeah.
much of Reddit, right? Is
Yeah.
like you can be, I don't know, Reddit stresses me out.
It stresses
It stresses.
I'm
I don't know why
terrified
I
of
read it.
Yeah, I'm
Instead, I read
terrified.
like doom news. Like I
okay.
go through every news outlet before bed, and I'm reading about horrific things happening in the world, and then I'm like, time for bed.
Yeah. Time
Now-
to rest my
I'm
head.
scared. I'm scared. Okay, now the
Okay.
climate change. Let's go to bed.
Okay, there's still wars everywhere. It's good night.
Yep. There could be an earthquake to kill us while we sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
Like politics. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I had to stop those boards. Those were just too terrifying.
Yeah.
But I think like
It's
quitting
intense.
drinking means it makes me think, what other habits can I quit?
Yeah,
'Cause
and that's
that
one
was
of them.
really
That's
hard.
the hardest one. Is
Yeah.
just like it's like eating. You have like listen. We have almost in the modern world. We have to be on our phones.
Yes.
Even like social media, like for our jobs in particular, like you need to be on it, and I like it for the most part. But still, I'm addicted to it, and sometimes my brain can't handle it.
Yeah.
And I'll like look at like Jackie Johnson's like Instagram, and I'll be like, she is fabulous.
Look at her drumming.
Look at her drumming. I get so jealous of your drumming, man. Look at that drumming.
I say that my drum kit has been covered since right before I gave birth. Okay, so that was a year and a half ago, and every few days my husband goes, "Are you gonna go and play that drum kit in the garage?" And I'm always like, "When am I gonna do that?"
Right.
I'm watching a toddler now. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't want to wake the baby.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a big house.
He's like, get these drums out of here. You're like, one day.
Oh my God, you should see our garage because Sean keeps on opening up comedy clubs. And,
Yeah.
so we just we thrift everything.
Men have a thing, you know.
Lots
My
of velvet
husband collects
couches.
baseball cards. Your husband collects comedy clubs.
Yeah. and so like he'll just be like, there's a deal. Like he got onto the LAUSD's like auction site.
I love auctions.
Oh my God, don't do this because you'll get addicted like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
husband. So during the pandemic, he bought like wrestling mats. We have like tons of wrestling mats. He bought.
He's not a wrestler.
No, he's not a wrestler, but
Hey.
he could be.
Could be.
Could teach us.
I could, yeah.
I don't know. He wears singlets. But then he bought like a library.
Yeah.
So we have like. That's why like the Glendale Room has like books everywhere.
The Glendale Room is
Oh.
another
Yeah, yeah,
comedy
yeah, yeah.
club that Anne and her husband own.
Yeah.
Covered in books.
Covered in books, but our garage is impenetrable
Yeah.
because it's just full of shit.
Men collect shit. Men collect shit.
My
What
husband
is
literally
that?
just collects shit. It's poops
Oh, wow.
in jars on shelves.
Like famous poops? Or?
Just all different ones, you know, from around
I
the
want to
world.
see that.
No,
I'm
he
curious.
doesn't. BJ does not do that.
He does. He collects poops. It's true.
Okay.
Don't fact check me.
Don't you dare fact check me, Gregory.
I love an auction. The Sony prop house closed over the writer's strike.
Oh my God, I didn't
And
know about this.
they auctioned everything off in lots. And I won
Costumes and stuff?
literally everything you can imagine.
Wow.
I won 3 lots. I won toy cars, toy trucks, and baby musical instruments. And I
Wow.
thought it would be like, one little
few.
thing. I drove up. My Subaru full. I could hardly drive. There were so many things in my car, and there
4 accidents on the way.
yes,
Yeah.
in my Subaru.
Wow.
She moved from a Prius to
My
a Subaru.
podcast money Subaru.
Oh wow. Okay, this is the podcast Subaru. Okay.
Nice.
Wow, we're not at that podcast.
I have an
Yeah.
unemployment Honda Fit.
There you go. It all works. I also bought that used. But yeah, I have a lot of toy cars in my garage if anyone needs any.
Okay.
Please come
All
over
right, and I've
and
got
take
books
them. Yes.
and
Let's do a
wrestling
trade.
mats.
Nice, and I have poop, so we're good.
Oh, great,
It
we're
smells. Don't come over. He might throw up.
Yeah, but are there? So you have these hobbies. You have going to classes at LA City College. You have
Highly recommend.
Okay, you have having a kid is a hobby.
Oh, yeah. No, I have no time for any of them now. This was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing for fun these days?
I'm going to be honest. That's not a high priority.
I know. Yeah, when they're
I'm
little
in the
kids.
trenches. Yeah, I'm in the
Okay.
trenches of toddlerhood, and I am the default parent, as a lot of mothers are.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I watch my kid a lot, and my joy is him and watching him figure the world out. I need something.
Well, and
I
you
need
also
something.
are
Yeah.
like killing it with your one-person show.
I am
so it's
busy
like you're
with-
taking a step up
Yes.
in that direction as well,
Yes.
which is hard. And it's hard to take that career step up when your kid
Yes.
is a toddler.
Yes.
I felt like I was in the same boat. Was like when I got on Glow, Fred was like 18 months old, and it's like the craziest time.
Yeah.
Like not the newborn sleep shit, but when they're like running around, and as you were saying, he could run across the room
Yes.
and suddenly have a knife or something.
And I'm like, how did you find that? I don't know. It's
But
terrifying.
then you're also finding yourself and who you are as an artist.
Yes,
now.
it's been a weird time. When I stared working on work, I'm doing a one-woman show right now in the very room we're recording in Anne's Gorgeous Theater.
Oh, and you're killing it.
And I've been working real hard on it.
Yeah.
And I started working on it when I was pregnant, and then finally got it up, a couple years in. But it's been a long journey. And it's
Amazing.
nowhere near, this is the beginning of the journey still.
Yeah,
We just got it up, and it's a moving, living, breathing thing that changes every show. And it's been really fun, but that's where my focus is, that and the child. My husband says to me all the time, like, why don't you go do something? Because he plays baseball, and he's like on a rec league, and I watch Sandy when he goes, and he's like, you could go do something too, And I was like, okay, let me go join a baseball team, maybe. I don't know. I
It
need
is
something
carving
new.
it out, though. I think
Yes.
having the carve out, because which is why, like, if you took another class, or it
Yes.
is because him having the baseball league is the only way that he's going to go play
Yes,
baseball. Every
exactly.
week. He's not going to just be like, let me get the guys together.
I'm going to just go stand around like a creep.
With his like
Hey,
baseball
kids.
bat.
Hey, kids.
There
put
was,
me
like,
in,
there was a
coach.
creepy man.
No, I'm going to look through the LACC book. I
Nice.
got it in the mail, and I said, this is my sign.
You know-
I'm
Yeah.
going to make candles. I don't know, something.
I love that.
I don't know if this is another thing though, and I still feel this. My kids are 10 and 7 now, and I still feel guilt. No one else gives this guilt to me. My husband doesn't give it
Yeah.
to me, but I feel like if I'm not working,
Yeah.
I need to be with the kids, and I don't know where that
Right.
comes from.
Yeah.
Like just spending time to have fun, it's trickier for me to ask for that. Like a couple of mom friends from when we were at the same preschool together listened to the podcast, and then
Yeah.
they were like, "Let's go out for a mocktail together," and I'm like, "That's so
That's
fun!"
so fun. And they've stepped their pussy game up, Mocktails.
Oh,
I
yes.
know.
Honey, overnight. They're
There's
everywhere.
bars, full bars that are
Yes.
just
There's
mocktails.
full
We're drinking one right now.
lines.
Yeah.
There's full
Yeah.
lines of, I call like wines and
Oh,
things.
yeah.
That all happened like in a year.
I
Yeah,
know,
it's amazing.
right?
I think
Yeah.
the pandemic, like, some people quit
Yes.
drinking because they were drinking too much, and then also
Me.
we were all like, we need something to
Something
fill this
fun.
void.
Well, I think a lot of people are getting wise to it.
Yeah.
Kind of
Getting
also.
here.
So these ladies are so nice and invited me out, and like I was like, Sean, what are you doing next Thursday? And he's not like that. Like I could just
Yeah.
be like, I'm going out with my friends
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Thursday, but for some reason I still do that to myself.
It's
I don't know what it
hashtag
is.
mom guilt.
Yeah, yeah.
I do
Yeah.
that too. I have childcare part-time, and if I'm not writing my show or doing, I'm like, could I take 30 minutes while she's watching him to like take a bath?
Yes.
Like, would that be, but I don't, because I'm like, I feel too guilty doing that. I have to like be working while she's
I
taking
don't know.
care
I
of
think
him.
that you have to like take that time for yourself because, like,
You have to.
You have to.
Because
And
you
also,
will be
we are
a better
human
mommy.
beings.
Yes.
We are, yeah.
Mommy has to be a full-fledged person. Mommy
Yeah.
can't just be a mommy. Mommy
No.
has to have hobbies, friendships, interests. Because if not, mommy's
Gonna go crazy.
lose it. And
Yes.
and I get it now.
Oh, yeah.
I get the crazy mommy thing. I get it.
Yeah, the anger.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's, I think, honestly, one of the reasons that I did drink at 5 o'clock was so that I could, like, take some time for myself.
Yeah.
And even if you could take the time while your kids are there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you can have a drink
And I
while they're there.
get that too.
Yeah.
I get mommy drinky culture.
Yeah.
I get
it too, and there's no judgment because I understand
100%.
Yes. I just think that, like, that's why it's even more important now, especially when you don't drink. This reminds me of when I waited tables and I never smoked cigarettes. I smoked, like, tried them when I was young, 13, in the park.
because you're like, to be cool.
Yeah, to be cool, but I never was a smoker.
Yeah.
And I remember being, like, kind of pissed because the waiters and waitresses that smoked cigarettes would get cigarette breaks.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't smoke, and I was like, so I don't get to go outside
Can
and
I
just
have a clean
think?
air break?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I couldn't. Like, I mean, there was no way to ask for that.
Yeah.
And that's what that reminds me of. We don't drink anymore, so we do need that break from whatever it is. And I think being a working mom, sometimes there's already guilt in there.
Sure.
So then you're like, oh, but I think we need to have those, you need to foster those friendships because that's the joy in
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
And
That's the joy.
other mommy bonding too.
Yeah.
It's
I know
huge.
y'all have like a mommy group of like all kind of the same agey kids and y'all
Yeah.
text and stuff. Like I have one of those too, and it's everything.
Yeah.
It's you need that village. Hashtag it takes a village. You need that. You need that. Have y'all seen Oppenheimer?
No.
I haven't yet.
I would skip it. That's my review.
Oh my god!
I watched
Is it just too long?
It's too long, and honestly, it's just a bunch of white dudes
just a
talking.
dud?
It wasn't for me, but Emily Blunt is in it, and she plays Oppenheimer's wife, and they have kids. And
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling anything. He comes home, and the baby's screaming.
Yeah.
and she's sitting at the table with a bottle, and he goes, "Shouldn't you go call to him?" And she goes, "I've been calling to him all day." And I go,
he's like,
I
"I know
felt
that.
that. I was
I
like,
know that."
I felt that. That was the realest part of the whole movie.
He's off building
Talk about
bombs.
dropping
as
a
all they-
bomb.
He's collecting a bomb.
That was the bomb of motherhood in your life, honey. I felt that one.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
know. Those early days of negotiating.
Yes.
Like,
because both of your lives just exploded and you're
Yeah.
both figuring it out.
Yeah,
Right.
And I do think that, like, whether it's societal pressure or it's like our own pressure, like the majority of it falls upon us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, it is.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night when my son was like infant, in the middle of the night, when we were doing like sleep training or something, my baby would be crying, and then we'd just be sitting there, and BJ, my husband, would be like, "Should we go in?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Well, what should we do?" And I'm like, "I don't know more
Yeah.
than you.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is also my first child." And he actually like uses that as an example where he's like, that was the first time it
Yeah.
occurred to him that I don't actually
Yes.
know more than him.
Yes.
I mean, I know more because
Yeah.
I read books and I
Yes,
have
same.
mom thing. And
Yeah.
like
Mommy
I actually
instincts.
did have like the research to back things up, but at the same time, it was my first time too.
Yes.
And it was. He realized that like, oh shit, like why am I looking to her to make all
Yeah.
the choices about childcare?
We had that same conversation. Yeah.
And we were always having those conversations, whispering angrily at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
Fred was sleeping or awake and crying in the next room, it would be those whisper fights.
Oh my god, we never did, and I was just such a pussy. I could never do this. We'd always be like, we're gonna sleep train, and my kids didn't sleep until they were 3 years old, which was bad. Anyways, not a good thing.
I couldn't
there's
live.
No good answers.
It's rough.
All of it,
Yeah.
I think it always comes down to like, how are you going to be able to get through this? And sometimes you have to push through those,
I know.
those days to get through it.
Well, I just remember
Yeah.
being in newborn hell and being like, this is so hard. And now having a toddler is 1,000 times harder than that. And I'm like, oh, wow, a baby asleep on me all day? That was so hard for me. But now
Right,
I'm
now that
trying
they're
to
moving
protect
around.
a human from dying every 3 seconds.
Oh my
That's
God.
It
more
gets
exhausting.
easier.
It
I
gets-
promise.
That's what everybody
It gets
says.
easier.
It really does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
This is hard. And there's other challenges that come with them getting older
Yeah.
and like learning about the world and their personalities, but it definitely gets easier.
and the sleep, like you're still recovering.
Yeah.
Well, I sleep. My baby's been sleeping through the night since
Oh,
he
that's
was
Okay, I
good.
gotta go. I
5
hate
months old.
everyone.
Yeah, he sleeps. That's not an issue. I get great
My kids
sleep.
still wake up 10 and 7.
I hear you get a good one or you don't in terms of sleep.
Good child.
No. Just they sleep or they don't.
I hear you can't
Wow,
send them back.
Jackie,
You can't send
I
them back.
Googled return
Once you
policy.
pull them
Yeah.
out,
Well, mine
can't
were pulled
push
out
it back
of they cut it. So you guys both had your vaginal
They pulled
birth.
them out. They pulled them out for you. Yeah, they can't put them back. That's
They can't
the
put
thing.
them back.
I Googled hospital return policy a couple times in my darkest hours. I was like, is there something I can do about this?
Oh, yeah. I remember when driving home from the hospital, I'm like, they think I can take care of it.
Oh, yeah. They don't do any checks.
They don't know.
They don't do any
Yeah,
checks.
yeah.
They didn't even check my car seat. I heard that they come out and like make sure your car seat's in. They didn't give a fuck. I'm like, I could have just thrown them in the back of the Prius.
There are more checks to get a dog
P.T.
from a
Anderson.
shelter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson Prius. I could just throw them in a damn box in the back. Put some wee-wee pads down from my dog walk days.
They're like, great, get out. We need this bed for someone else.
like
And at the sides, like a bottle that came out of the
give a
bag.
watermelon in the back for a party. Yeah.
Let's do it. You know what? Let's try that.
Let's do it.
If anyone has a newborn that will let us just roll them around in the back on some wee-wee pads, let us know.
Oof.
So wait, did you ever like question, did you ever like have to use like a tool to stay not drinking, or you were just like, I'm definitely not?
No, I have extreme willpower.
Wow. I don't.
It's rough sometimes. I mean, like quitting meat and cheese. That's been hard.
That's harder.
When you walk out of a concert and there's all those people with the like hot dogs and the onions and you smell that and all you want to do is go over there and go, give me 3.
Yeah.
But I'm like, nope, I'm not eating that. Like, I'm pretty strong-willed in terms of, I guess, restricting myself.
But that's good. Once you make a choice, you're
Yeah.
like, I'm going to stick to that
I just have
choice.
no desire.
That's
Okay.
great.
So I don't have to worry about that.
I think losing the desire to drink is like, that's a amazing feeling.
Yeah.
I envy that.
I think I'm almost
Yeah.
there.
You take one day at a time, though. It's one day at
Yeah.
a time forever.
But I think it's the decision that was, once I made the decision, the mental energy was easy.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, this
Yes.
is the decision.
Yes.
And so for people out there who like, are thinking about like this dry January, if the decision itself has been helpful, maybe extend it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe try it.
Yeah. Fabulous February.
And this is something that I always say with my therapist, and we put our knuckles together because I say I'm going to get a knuckle tattoo that says notice.
Yeah.
Notice. Just look around you when you talk about your drinking or not drinking and see who's supportive of you and who isn't. Take notice. Okay? Those are the people that you want to keep around.
Yes.
They're going to support your journey. The other people, maybe they have something going on they need to work out for themselves. That's like when I was going through my divorce. It was really interesting what friends were there and what friends weren't there.
Really?
Right. Notice.
Wow.
Well, more specifically, when I found somebody else.
Oh.
I was warned about that too.
Oh my
From
God.
other divorced, remarried people.
Like they were offended that you moved on and found love?
Yeah, but it was almost sort of like, yeah. I mean, there's a lot. We know a lot of amazing single women that you're like, I think some people had a problem with. Oh, she's happy now?
Right.
I have a problem with that. Well, honey, notice.
I think it is.
Something's
looking
going on
got
with
it.
you.
We
Same
are
with
always
if you quit drinking. You quit drinking
Yeah.
and somebody's like gives you a really hard time about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Notice.
Notice.
See, I can't do it as cool though. Notice.
So it would be like
Have such a nice notice, Jackie.
NOTICE. So you could do like 2 little cute things on your pinky.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a cat or like
And a
you know,
dog.
A cat and a
Perfect.
dog.
Cat and a dog.
Yeah. That's cute.
I'm gonna just sweat dropping off my ball. Dropping
Yeah,
my balls.
yeah. We
Nice.
could get little sweat marks.
Sweat marks.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just going to
Okay,
write
notice.
broccoli.
Notice.
For no reason.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
Remember to eat that. Cruciferous vegetables.
Talk about
okay.
parts.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
You're awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I never, again, this is something I never talk about.
Well,
thank
we're
you
happy you
for-
talked about it here.
Yeah.
Talking about it because it's useful and somebody's going to hear their story and your story. And that's
And then they
useful.
should come see my one-woman show.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
If
How
you-
to get a second husband.
If you live in LA, come
How to
see
get a
it,
second
please.
husband. And
February 29th. When's this going to come out?
Yeah, that's great.
Soon.
I think it will come out before that.
Yeah.
February 29th, leap year, baby. Leap day at the Lyric Hyperion. You have a bonus day. What are you going to do with it? Come
see the
see
show.
comedy.
Come see Jackie.
Yes,
Actually,
damn
I need to
it.
get my ticket if it's not sold out already, which it might be.
It's not because I haven't promoted it yet because I was waiting until my show this week because I wasn't going to be like, hey, come see my show. Well, there's another one. I wanted to make sure people
Okay, good.
came to
I'm
this
getting my
one.
ticket now.
I have a technique.
Me too.
I have a technique when it comes to
Okay.
marketing. So,
Oh, I want to hear that later. Okay.
Okay, bye. Thank you, Jackie.
bye.
Well, that was delightful.
I love talking to Jackie.
Jackie Johnson is the funniest. None of us have her willpower.
No.
But but you can still see that, you could make a decision to quit and your life will be better.
I was thinking while we were talking, I was like, oh, it's so interesting. We're going into topics we haven't gone into on this show yet. Motherhood. I mean, we did talk about motherhood with Kate, but
Priuses.
Commercials. No, but I was like, oh, it feels very much like we're just having a conversation. We're not talking about sobriety. And I was like, oh, right. Because it's just a part of our lives. It's just who we are. It's just one facet of who we are. And I think that's what's so, I'm still figuring that out, but it's just one facet of who I am, that I don't drink anymore. And I have so many other things going on with me other than not drinking, right?
Yeah, 100%. And also she's been almost 10 years without drinking, except that when she was on Drunk History, which is just mind-blowing to me.
Isn't it?
You don't drink except for when you get wasted on television.
On camera.
But,
I know.
But I think the thing I'm getting is, as I get further away from having my last drink, over a year, right? Mm-hmm. It becomes less of something that I think of constantly. Of course, I think of it when we talk to people about it.
Right, because we're supposed to.
But I don't think about having a drink. I don't want to have a drink.
Yeah, I don't want to have a drink either.
I do want to have a mocktail, and we're going to get to that in a second.
Yes.
But first, I want to read a comment, because the comments you guys are leaving us are amazing.
Yeah, we're loving hearing from everybody who's listening to it and who's either finding it relevant to their life or, getting something out of it or just laughing. We just want people to laugh at us.
Yeah, just laugh at us. Oh, and also, maybe learn along with us, because we're learning. And speaking of, the comment this week was from Amador Basin.
And the font did not get any bigger for those of you checking in on the font report.
Yeah, it's so small. Need reading glasses. Good show, but kind of funny as a member of AA with long-term sobriety. Great info overall, though, and a good tool in any toolbox of a person seeking or maintaining their sobriety. I loved this because this is from somebody who knows more than us.
Oh, yeah.
So they're seeing the humor in it. They're seeing that we are totally new to this journey, and we are. So, but they understand that it's a good tool to come back to and relearn. So I love that.
And I think they could kind of see that there are probably, things we don't know yet that we will come across, And I know, just having been to some AA meetings, like there's people who are old timers that are in there, and they're sort of like in the beginning when I was so elated that I had quit drinking, and people who are like, oh, that's what did they call it? The pink curtain. Nope, it's not called that.
That's okay. I think that's something else. There is
a term for it, but I don't know right now, and I haven't had anything to drink. But it's when you feel this like overpowering joy that you've quit drinking, and then you end up coming out of that and you come in down to earth and back to normalcy. And so I remember in the beginning when people were telling me that that's why I felt so good, I was like resentful of that. And then I did come back down to earth, and I still feel way better than when I drank.
Way better.
I was not in that like pink haze. I can't remember the name of it. I think it is pink haze. But yeah, then it's like there was a different thing where it was like this elation, and then you go into normalcy. And so I think sometimes people who have been sober for a really long time are aware of the phases that we may yet still go through.
100%.
And, probably laugh
it
at
isn't
our...
This solve for our entire life.
No.
It just does make it better.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's not going to fix everything in your life. Quitting drinking will not all of a sudden solve all of your problems.
No, our lives are not perfect, but they are better.
That's exactly right.
Yes. And you know what's even better than that?
A great mocktail segue?
Yes.
Yay!
And so I believe it, and I don't know why I'm questioning this. I know that Anne.
Yes.
You have decided to make another mocktail.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
baby.
Anne, I can't wait to taste this.
This comes from my little friend Harris.
Okay, Harris.
Yeah. And by little friend, I mean he's my son's friend. He is 8 years old. This is Harris's mocktail recipe. His parents listened to the podcast, and they said that their son had come up with this because they're doing a dry January. So what it involves is hop water.
Okay.
So we're doing a blood orange flavored hop water, but you can do a non-flavored one as well. There's a lot of hop waters out there right now. 0 calories for those.
Are they 0 calories?
Yeah, they're 0 calories.
What the fuck?
So good for the waistline. And so it is hop water and fresh grapefruit juice.
And these grapefruits we got fresh from our friend's yard.
Yes.
We
Harris's
recommend
parents' yard.
Yeah, Harris's parents' yard. So I recommend having grapefruit friends. Those are friends who have grapefruit trees in their yard.
Yes. That's the only friends we make.
Yeah.
Citrus friends.
Yeah, citrus friends. That's a tool for your toolbox, a citrus friend. Okay, so we're going to put some hop water.
Yeah.
And we are not going to have ice because you know what? We're going fucking rogue here. We're raw dogging it, no ice.
Yeah.
Hopefully Harris doesn't listen to this because he's 7 or 8. And I've already cursed many a time.
Yep. Okay, and now you take a grapefruit.
Okay, we're going to...
And you can have a citrus squeezer, or you can get messy, and we love to get messy on this.
Yeah,
And
Anne loves it especially.
squeeze it. I'm just a mess.
Okay, and then I think we should garnish it
with another grapefruit.
Here, a little sliceroo.
Sliceroonie.
Yep. So we just did hop water, squeezed a quarter of a grapefruit into it, and now I'm going to say...
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
to you.
Harris.
Yeah, cheers, Harris.
And the Davidsons.
Yes, thanks for these grapefruits.
Very refreshing.
I really like that.
Wow. I'm just going to say something, and this is honest. An 8-year-old came up with a better mocktail recipe than I did. Like, legit.
Than you ever could.
Probably. Wow. Okay.
Well, Harris, I think you're the next Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
Woo!
If they ever make Mocktail, which is cocktail after the party, Harris is going to be the guy.
Harris is going to be the Top Gun.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you
Cheers.
so much. And please
Rate,
review,
follow, and share.
Please
share it with people who you think might benefit from this podcast. I mean, I know it's a delicate subject, but trust me, if you stop drinking, if you take a break from drinking, your life is going to be better.
Yeah, and even an 8-year-old knows that drinking is not for them. Mm-hmm. So be our non-drinking buddy.
Woo! Bye.
Cheers again.